I'm Sonia. This is my channel, Sonia with an I, and I welcome you here today. Today we're going to celebrate the uh, Book Awards of 2023. I created this video because I did not want to do a favorite books of the year video because I really kind of felt it was unfair to my books. I have read, this year I set a goal to read 49 books and I have read 146 books. So I far succeeded my goal, which I'm very happy about. But as I was looking through my books, I thought this is like comparing apples and oranges. I read a lot of genres, and what I love about one genre, because it really moves me or makes me feel, is a lot different than maybe another genre that just makes me like laugh and feel good. So I really didn't want to compare. So I created some kind of Oscar type categories for the books that I have read, and I would like to share with them with you today. Before I do get started, I would like to thank all of you who have subscribed. I am so deeply touched. It means the world to me that you would like to hear me talk about books and hear what I think. So I greatly appreciate that. The book community here has been so wonderful. I have met so many amazing people and have made friends and connections and have read 146 books because of a lot of them. So I just want to say thank you. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am still kind of getting my feet wet. I am still learning. And, but if you like my vibe, you'd like to subscribe and just see what I'm all about, I would greatly appreciate it. I plan to do more videos about my main focus being books and usually cozy mysteries because I read primarily cozy mysteries, but also other books, other genres too, as you will see today. I also maybe thought about doing a few other cozy activities because that's really what I'm all about, is anything that is a little bit slower, a little bit cozy, because I'm kind of going on that journey myself. So if you'd like to join, please do. Please subscribe and feel free to comment down below if you have any questions or if you just want to brighten a creator's day. So, and with that, let's get started with Book Awards 2023 Sonia style. Let's go. My very first book award is my reread award. I am not a big rereader. I usually read a book one time. Um, I don't have many books that I've read more than once, except some of my favorites. I like Watership Down, The Hobbit, Harry Potter. I've read those multiple times, but most books I do not do that. This year, I read one book twice. I did have one book that I will do an honorable mention for, is my last year's favorite book. I did reread that, but I chose this book because I read it twice this year, and that would be Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. Legends and Lattes is a cozy fantasy book that is low stakes. I adore that. I love fantasy. I love different worlds. I love all of that. My complaint about most fantasy books is it's always drama and war and killing and all of these things that I don't enjoy. This book was a breath of fresh air. You have Viv, who's an orc. She has been a soldier all of her life, and all she wants to do is to live a cozy, slow life, open a coffee shop in this cute little town, and introduce the world to coffee, the wonderfulness of coffee, which I completely agree. Um, she ends up making this found family, making friends, and there's a little bit of drama in it, but the whole story is just so cozy. My favorite character is Thimble. He's a rat and he makes cinnamon rolls. And the description of the cinnamon rolls in the story makes me wish that I made cinnamon rolls, which I don't, but I will learn. Fantastic story. If you want something that is just cozy and comforting, but you enjoy fantasy too, this is definitely the book for you. So my next award is my Laugh Out Loud award. My Laugh Out Loud award goes to Midnight Snacks or Murder by Libby Klein. Midnight Snacks or Murder is from the Poppy McAllister series. It is a story about Poppy, who is has moved back to her hometown and created this bed and breakfast with her Aunt Jenny. Her Aunt Jenny is elderly, and her Aunt Jenny is a card. And in this particular book, her Aunt Jenny is sleepwalking and eating snacks at other people's houses while she's sleepwalking. I adored this book. I laughed out loud so many times that I had to actually like stop, close the book, and wipe my eyes. I was laughing so hard. I love the series. I started and finished the series in the same this year, and that says a lot for it. I think there's maybe 8 or 9 books in the series. It's just I enjoy the main character because she's a little older. She's been through some things. I enjoy her aunt because she makes me laugh out loud. She reminds me of my Aunt Di. I really just love the series. If you're looking for something that's humorous and fun, but yet it's touching, there's been a couple of times that I've teared up. It is very touching too. This is a great series. Check it out. The most out of my box book that I read this year. If you know me, I am not a romance reader. It's not because there's anything wrong with romance. It is just I read a lot of it when I was younger, and it's just I kind of just I don't pick it up anymore. It's not my thing. But I heard many people raving about this book. The I think it's The Night I Got Drunk and Rescued a Demon, or the day it's something about getting drunk and rescuing a demon. I'll put the book up. Anyway, wow. First of all, it was fantasy, which I like. But it is also a romance, and it is a spicy. Okay. Yeah. I don't like to watch people kissing on TV. That's kind of where I go. And I really enjoyed the book. I gave it 5 stars. Um, the demon that she rescues, I'm not mad. Just gonna say that. Anyway, if you like spicy and you like fantasy and it's really, really funny, I think that's why I liked it, is because it was funny and fantasy, and then the spice was just kind of added to the side. And I didn't mind it because I enjoyed the funny and the fantasy. Check it out. It's really a good story. If you do not want spice, do not read this book. It will burn you. Yeah. So my next book, my next award is the retro read of my year, and it has to be the Christie's Big Idea, The Babysitter's Club by Anne Martin. Uh, a booktubers were talking about this one. Sarah from the Bookish Knitter uh, twisted my arm, not really, but she was mentioning this one, and I had heard of Babysitter's Club. It was written the same when I was a kid. I think the first one was written in 1986, 1987. I am the same age those girls would have been at that time, yet I never read the book. And so I picked up the first one, and it was like going back in time. I smiled and I laughed, and it just reminded me of being a seventh grader and the things that we did, and my friend Melanie, and it just was awesome. It really brought me a lot of like retro vibe, but just childhood memory, like the good childhood memory joy. Um, I loved it. I gave it. I actually continuing with the series. I have many of them. I don't know if you can see them behind me, but I have many of them that I've been collecting because I want to read them all. My other one is a Back to Childhood series. It is a book that I read when I was a teenager, when I was an early teenager. It's called Dinah and the Green Fat Kingdom by Isabel Holland. In that story, Dinah is she's a chubby girl, and her family is pressuring her to lose weight, um, telling her that if she becomes a fat adult, then she won't be able to get a good husband. Anyway, sign of the times. Um, I read that book when I was having a hard time. I was transitioning between family members, and I was really struggling with things. And I remember getting lost in Dinah, and Dinah gets lost in her own way. She embraces the fantasy world. She has this tree that she climbs up in, and then she escapes to the Green Fat Kingdom, where the being fat is celebrated. It really is a great story, especially I felt like I was seen. I felt it was related to me. I actually went through and tabbed how many times somebody made some sort of comment about how being fat will keep her from getting a husband, and just things that are completely inappropriate to say to a child. Not to get too deep or heavy here, but I really enjoyed it. It was a beautiful book. Isabel Holland has a lot of really great middle grade books. They are old school. Some of them, they didn't age well, but she was a wonderful writer, and I did enjoy this story, even though a lot of it kind of made me sad too. Um, the next one, the next award, my cottagecore dream book. I discovered the Cottage Tales of Beatrix Potter by Susan Whitting Albert, and I am in love. It is a cozy mystery series. It is about when the point in Beatrix Potter's life when her fiance is passed and she buys a farm in Little Sorry, and she decides she wants to be a farmer, but she's still writing the Beatrix Potter books. She's still writing, Peter Rabbit, the tales of all the animals and things. So the story has her in it, and she is a character, but there's townspeople, and there's also animals, and the animals kind of help the humans solve the mysteries. It's a very light mystery. There was one of them was a murder mystery, but some of them was like a found child, um, a, uh, a a false marriage. So it's not all just murder, and sometimes I need a break from the murder, as you would. So I love this. I am savoring this one. I am not quite finished with the series. The next one that is up to read, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I think it's the fifth one, is Wintory. So I'm going to be reading it very soon. I'm just adoring it. It is a wonderful series. If you've never seen the movie Beatrix Potter with Ewan McGregor is in it, and then oh my goodness, she played in Chicago. Can't think of her name, but she's in it too. It is a wonderful movie. It is actually one of my favorite movies. So um, it's very, very cottagey too, and it tells her story of her life. It's the true story of her life. My next award is Crush on a Character. Um, I developed a crush on a character in a cozy mystery series, the Mountain Lodge series by Diane Kelly. I have not read the first one. I'm going to, but I started with the second one and I raved about it. It was one of my favorite books that I've read this year. And the character of Tony. Yeah. The character of Tony, it reminds me a lot of my husband with his caring nature and things, but beard, lumberjacky, broad, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I also kind of have a little bit of a crush on Holly's dad and the Christmas Tree Farm. I'm not going to lie, but don't tell her mom that. Anyway, speaking of Christmas Tree Farm, for the holiday award is The Christmas Tree Farm by Jacqueline Frost. It is a story of Holly. Holly moves back home. It is a to Rudolph and sorry, Mistletoe, Maine. Rudolph is another one. Mistletoe, Maine, and her tail is between her legs because she is a jilted bride, and she goes back to move with her parents, and they run a Christmas tree farm and a kind of a like a bed and breakfast or and a little bit of a restaurant. It just the whole town is so Christmassy. If you want to get in the Christmas spirit, this is the book for you. It is so Christmassy. It is so cozy. My favorite character is Cookie and her goat Theodore. Very good read for a holiday cozy. Loved it. And I binged that one too. I read the whole series. I read the whole series this year. Uh, the book, the next award, made me eat the most cheese. For some reason, I read a lot of cheese books this year. And I'm going to confess, I'm not really a cheese eater per se. I love Provel cheese because where I'm from, if you don't love Provel cheese, they throw you out. But anyway, I still love it. I like American cheese. I like a little bit of cheddar. I like maybe y'all don't want to know about my cheese, but anyway, I don't eat a lot of cheese. And this book made me eat so much cheese. I found that my snacks were like grape and Munster cheese, and I made a lot of lot of cheese type crackers. And anyway, this book did it to me, and it is the Cheese Shop by Karina Moss. The first one was Gone for Gouda, I believe is the name. Thank goodness I'm posting these, but I loved it. I love the story. Willa is a cheesemonger. She has opened a cheese shop in Sonoma Valley, California, and she is trying to get it up and started. And of course, there is a murder that happens, and some of her cheese shop things are found, and it just kind of ensues from there. I love the community. I love the main character. The main character is so relatable. She's not like, she has a uniqueness about her. She's not like any cozy mystery character I've ever read. She's very um, down to earth. She's not really like super busybody, pushy nosy. Her brother has passed, and she still kind of is dealing with that. Her little brother, I've dealt with that too. So I just really, really enjoy this character. The mystery is fantastic. There's a little bit of a romance in it, but I don't mind it because it's well done. Great series. It's the Cheese Shop Mysteries. Karina Moss. Karina Moss is also a very, very sweet human. Great book. I am going to read the third one in the series. It's set in the spring, and it's a wedding theme. Case of the Blues. I will be picking that up fairly shortly. It's as fast as time goes. um, my big binge. My big binge award. I binged all of the Library Lovers series by Jen McKinley this year. I started in January. I finished them in March. It is a story about Lindsay. Lindsay is a library director in a little island coastal town. She has a coworker they call the Lemon, who is my favorite character, and lots of every book has to do with some sort of murder. But Jen McKinley is a fantastic writer. She even kind of ties in her other books into the Jen McKinley books. Like some of the characters make little guest stars, which I think is superb. There is a romance in it. There was a few times the romance kind of got on my nerves a little bit, but it kind of ironed out. The town and the characters are what do it for me. Also, the description of the seaside town and all of that sort of thing. Really good, fantastic series. I think there was 14 or 15 books in it. I will definitely continue it. I really enjoy Lindsay. Um, it's a great read. Pick it up if you are looking for a bookish, cozy, great read. My other award is the You Made Me Do More Research After I Read It award, and that is The American in Paris by Colleen Cambridge. It is a cozy mystery that is set during Julia Child's time, and when she's in Paris at Cordon Bleu, and her best friend is the main character, and so Julia makes little guest stars in it, but it's not really about her. Man, the story is I read it in one sitting. The story is well written. I love the inclusion of Dorothy, her sister, Julia Child's sister, Dottie, I think is what they call her. I love Julia. I loved all the characters. I thought it was a phenomenal read. I can't wait to read the next one. My very last award is the my science fiction award. I don't read a lot of science fiction, but I really found one this year that I absolutely loved, and that was the a Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers. This is the second in the Monk and the Robot series, and it is about he's a tea monk, and he travels his world, this sci-fi world, and he makes tea for people and listens to them and gives them advice. I'm sorry, they give advice and they make tea and whatnot. And they are going to they're just traveling and they run into a robot. And what's funny about that is robots are no longer on this planet or this world. The robots have decided that they don't want to be a part of humanity a long, long time ago. And so robots were really just kind of history or myth to the people who are living now. And as they are on their journey through and doing the tea monk job, this robot comes out, they become friends, and they learn from each other about humanity. Uh, Moskamp is the robot, and his whole goal is to learn what makes humans human. I love Moskamp. I laughed out loud so many times. It is so heartfelt. It is so cozy. It is such a good story. I really enjoyed it. The second one was my favorite. That's why I mentioned it here. The first one was really good too. If you like sci-fi with some human cozy touch, check out the Monk and the Robot series. And I believe that is the end of my awards. So thank you so much. If you stuck around for this long, put a trophy or an award in your emoji in your comments. Thank you again. Did you have any favorites of the year or special awards, or did any of my awards make you think of a book that you've read? So please share. I would love to hear about it. Thanks again for coming to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Keep an eye open. I will be posting some more videos about my booktube journey, why I'm doing booktube, and a newbie book tag. So if you'd like to see that, just let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Happy reading!